I'm Faith, and finally I'm back with another video. It's been quite a while since I last did a video, probably over a year now. So I just recently went shopping and I picked up a lot of new booze, and I thought I'd just share with you guys what I got and also do some tasting notes for like my first impressions, second impressions with these bottles. Honestly, I haven't been buying stuff that often. I've mostly just been trying to get through the things that I own already. I don't like bottles collecting dust, and I don't like collecting things for the sake of collecting. So I do try to be equal opportunity and drink everything I have. Anyway, so finally I went on a haul and picked up these because I wanted to try some new things. So here we are. So with the weather warming up, sort of, I've been looking for some good options for light aperitifs to enjoy. So something that's really simple that I can pretty much just pour over ice or with some soda water and just, you know, have a really refreshing drink. And so I picked up a few of these aperitifs that I have not tried before. And I also restocked with a few Amaro that I have owned before, but I've since run out. And so let's get into it. So this is actually the second time I'm recording all this because the first time the video wasn't set up right and half of it is like just slightly too blurry. So I'm re-recording everything, and these are not my first impressions, but they're like my second impressions. So yeah, let's get to it. So the first things that I got are a few different quinas. Quinas are a aromatized wine, and they are bittersweet, and the primary ingredient in quinas is quinine, which comes from the bark of the cinchona tree. The cinchona tree is native to South America, and when European settlers discovered it, they started using the quinine that's found in this to treat malaria, and also put it into a lot of different spirits and wines. So the three quinas that I got, the first is this one. This is Bonal. The second one that I got is this. This is Byrrh. Looks like Byrrh, but it's pronounced Byrrh. And the third one that I have is here. This is the Mattei Cap Corse. So all of these are from different regions of France. They all contain quinine as like the major flavoring ingredient, but they're all supplemented with other roots and herbs and other flavoring as part of it. So I'm excited to try those out. Because these are fortified wines, they do need to be in the fridge. So I'm being really bold here and opening up all three at the same time and really committing my next month to be just like drinking these quinas. But you know, all in the name of research, right? The next things I picked up are a few restocks of Amaro that I've owned previously but have run out. First is here, Cynar. Cynar was one of the first Amaro I ever purchased, and I recently ran out and I picked up a bottle. It's one of my favorite Amaro. When people ask me what my top 3 Amaro is, well, no one really asked me that, but if people did, I would say Cynar is one of them, and Mattei is another, and the other one that I really love is Montenegro. So this one is also a restock for me. It's been a while since I last owned it, and it's a super lovely bottle. It's very approachable for anyone who is new to Amaro. This is a great recommendation that I suggest all the time. And the other thing that I'm restocking on is this Punt. Punt is a sweet vermouth. It's a little bit more on the bitter side, so people really like it for Manhattans and such, where you want maybe a little bit less sweetness or more of the bitterness to come through. The next thing that I have is this. This is the Bigallet China-China. So this is also an Amaro. A lot of times it's compared to Amer Picon. Amer Picon, which I have here, this is not available in the US. I actually picked this up on my last trip to Italy, but this is used in a lot of historical cocktails, and a lot of times people will recommend substituting with something like China-China. I'll try them both and do some comparison notes between the two. The final bottle that I picked up is here. This is Italicus. Italicus is a Rosolio di Bergamotto. It's essentially like a bergamot liqueur. Bergamot is a type of citrus fruit most commonly associated with the flavor of Earl Grey tea. I've heard so much rave reviews about this, and I've tried it on a couple of occasions, and honestly I've been disappointed in my previous tastings of this. But I think it's one of those things where maybe just like the quantity you use is super important. And like I'm baking a splash of this in a martini just to kind of brighten it up. Or I've also heard great things about using this in like a white Negroni. I don't know, I caved and finally got a bottle and I'm excited to try it and see what I think. I also picked up a few new glassware. The first one that I got is this right here, this cocktail coupe. It's super elegant. I really like the super thin long stem, and the other thing I really like is the quantity of the cup size. So I really don't like huge coupes. I like them around like 5 ounces or so. So I'm really excited that this one has a cool shape and isn't too voluminous. So I can pretty much like fill my drink to the top. And the second glassware that I got is this one. This is the new glass by Denver and Liley. Denver and Liley, they're kind of known for their artisanal whiskey glasses. They have a bourbon glass as well as the classic one, which was made for single malts. And they're just like a really high quality glassware, and I really like the shape of this. This one is made for agave spirits. They did a couple years of research in Mexico talking to different agave and mezcal producers and basically created this glass that was designed for nosing agave spirits and getting the most out of it. It feels really good in the hand, and I really like their other glasses, so I figured I'd pick it up. Alright, so let's get ready for the tasting. I do have some soda water here in case I want to try it with a little bit of dilution, as well as some ice just in this tin here. Let's start with Bonal. This is one of the quinas. These are all light ABV, I think less than 20%, maybe around 18%. And it is this dark, like amber color. It's brown, kind of tan, orangey, tanny. That's delicious. It's a bit bitter, it's a bit sweet. The sweetness is definitely the first thing that comes to mind. It's slightly floral, but a lot of honey. It sort of reminds me of like a vermouth or a port. And I'm just going to add a cube of ice. Maybe a dash of water. It's very refreshing. Once diluted, the sweetness doesn't like seem overbearing or anything. Let's move on to the next one. This is from a different region of France. I believe it's in the southern area of France, close to Spain. This one's like a reddish color, like translucent red, kind of the color reminds me like almost like a Pinot wine. Ooh. This one is a bit more bitter, like initially, compared to the Bonal. It's a little bit more like herbal, medicinal. But also really good. The sweetness is definitely there. It has a little bit more like jammy and fruity tones compared to the Bonal. That's really nice. Add a little bit of ice and again a little bit of water. Also really refreshing. So the third one that we have here is this. This is the Mattei Cap Corse Blanc. Aperitifs Blanc. They also make a red version of this. This one was recommended to me, so I'm very excited to try this out. And this one is much lighter than the other ones. It's kind of a yellowy, white wine type of color. Wow, that one's delicious. This one, it seems notably drier than the other two. And it kind of has like a tartness to it. It's like a little bit more citrusy. It's really refreshing. Whereas the other ones I would liken more to like a red vermouth or like a red wine. This would be like a white vermouth, or you know, like a lighter version. It's more bitter for sure, which I really like because I don't want to be drinking something super sweet, and I'd rather have my drinks err on the the bitter side. Add some ice and some water. This is super refreshing. I would say this is like the most refreshing of the three, but all of these are really nice. So let's see. Here they are side by side. This one's the lightest, the Cap Corse. This one's kind of the ruby color. This is the Byrrh. And then this one's like a amber yellow color, which is the Bonal. So moving on, the next thing that I got that's also a aromatized wine is the Punt. So Punt is a sweet vermouth, but it's on the bitter side. So they add more bitter ingredients than other vermouths, especially compared to something like Carpano Antica, which has a lot of vanilla flavoring to it. I have owned this before, but it was quite a while back, so decided to try it again and see what I think. Wow, that is really intense flavor. The bitterness definitely is like the first thing I noticed. It seems less sweet almost, but maybe because the bitterness is so strong. This is absolutely delicious, and I can't wait to use it in like a Boulevardier or in Manhattan. I think with sweet vermouth, sometimes they say this is good for like 2 to 3 months, but maybe this is naughty or whatever, but I've had sweet vermouth in my fridge that I've kept for over a year, and they are still pretty decent when I'm drinking that. So yeah, I would say with sweet vermouths or any type of sweet wine, you should just be mindful that it could go bad, but really they do last longer than like, you know, what you'll read about 2 or 3 months. Next, I'll go on to my other repurchases. So here is Cynar. This is an Amaro, and one of my faves. It's made with artichokes among other like herbs and roots and stuff, but artichoke is one of the primary ingredients. It's like a brownish color, slightly red tinged. Cynar is just delicious. You should just buy Cynar. If you don't have it already, if you've never tried it, go and buy some Cynar. I think every like booze enthusiast needs Cynar in their collection. Next up, we have Montenegro. Montenegro is actually one of the most popular Amaro in Italy. It's made in Bologna, which is a city pretty close to Florence. Super floral. Montenegro is super sweet, really floral. It's like candy, almost. If candy were like super floral and delicious and a little bit bitter. Pretty much liquid candy. Very, very floral and like potpourri type of deal. I don't know if I know of anyone who dislikes Montenegro. It's very approachable, friendly, lovely. All right, so the next item that we have here is this one. This is the Bigallet China-China. So this, I believe, is also quinine based, hence the name China-China, which I believe is just an alternative spelling for like a quinquina. This one smells ultra like orangey. Like the orange peel oils are super strong. And this is a 40% Amaro, so it's very strong. It's an Amer, which is just the French term for like an Amaro, like a bittersweet liqueur. It smells super orangey. Wow. Okay, that is super intense, but really, really delicious. I think this is one of my newest favorite Amaro. It's so good. It is really bitter, but there's enough sweetness to like perfectly counteract the bitterness, and it's just full of like the citrus and orange oils. It kind of feels like biting into like the peel of an orange that's been soaking in a big bucket of like booze for a long time. It's really, really good. That one would definitely like benefit from some dilution. Before I try that, I do want to compare it to the Amer Picon, which is another French Amaro. And this is the one that this one you can find in Europe, but it is not distributed in the US. This one is only 20% or 21%, so it's about half the strength of this. I think traditionally the original Amer Picon may have been higher proof, so the China-China might actually be closer to like the original Amer Picon, which is the one that's referenced in a lot of like historical cocktail recipes. Okay, so this one is a much more approachable. It still really has the orange flavor, similar to the China-China, but it's much milder and more like drinkable on its own. Let's see what we get by doing the China-China a little bit. I'll add some soda water too. Why not? I would say they were definitely pretty similar. They both have the orange flavor. I think the orange flavor is a little bit more pronounced in the China-China, whereas the Amer Picon has a little bit more, maybe a little bit more bitterness, like non-orangey bitterness compared to the China-China. Both are really nice, and if you like orangey flavors or like fresh zest, I think you would love this. So now, finally, let's talk about the Italicus. This is such a beautiful bottle that even if it's not that great, I can put it on a shelf and use it as decor and it'll still be really nice. Ooh. Instantly, I smell like strong like Earl Grey tea, the bergamot oils. It's super intense. So it's really light color. It's kind of like the color of a light hay. Or like light straw color. It's very sweet. There's no bitter flavor at all. It's not like the Amaro or the quinas or anything like that. It's purely like a liqueur. It is ultra like aromatic and citrusy. It kind of like almost reminds me of like cleaning supplies or like laundry detergents, but kind of in the best way. It's just because like I think it's the oils from the citrus is so concentrated and it kind of reminds me of that. I think this would be delicious, but you definitely have to use it in small quantities, otherwise it can easily overtake a drink. Although it is very light, it's like a very concentrated bergamot flavor. So if you like Earl Grey tea and like the bergamot flavor, this would be absolutely delicious. Just maybe like, I wouldn't even put a half an ounce, maybe like a quarter ounce in a drink to really brighten it up and add some aromatics to it. I wonder if you could actually put this in like an atomizer and just spray it on top of a drink, or if like the sugar would like clog up the atomizer. I don't know, maybe I should try it out. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this type of haul video. Let me know your thoughts below if you tried any of these, anything on your wish list, or if you want a more in-depth video or bottle talk or whatever on any of these, I'd be happy to do that. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this type of content to support me and help get visibility on these type of videos. You can also find me on @BarFaith on Instagram, which is where I post my primary content, and also my website barfaith.com. So hope you enjoyed this. Bye!